Hey, Sooner fans, welcome back. Champion Standard Podcast. Uh, week after the Tennessee game. So, how's everybody feeling out there? That was a tough loss. Tough loss, 25-15 Saturday night. I will say the atmosphere was electric. I haven't felt that in a long time
Mhm,
there. Um,
mhm.
I can't remember the last time. I'm going to say Ohio State 2016. That's kind of
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
what it felt like to me.
yeah, for sure.
First big ranked team coming to town. Uh, Tennessee fans, they looked like they had a pretty good contingent there. They were spread out pretty good, except for maybe that one section on the north end, and maybe
Right.
over closer to you. But
No,
yeah,
okay.
hard fought battle. Um, So, before we get started, please like, subscribe. Appreciate the comments. You can, of course, find us. You can go to our website, championstandard.com. I know that's slowly getting built out. A lot of data out there, dashboards, videos, all kinds of good stuff. We got a few other things coming, kind of brewing right now that'll be out there soon too. I'd love to hear from you. I want to thank our sponsors as well, Woodworks Distillery up north. I still need to go get my refill on my bottle, but go check them out.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then Nine East.
90s liquor.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zach. Yeah, over there next to Rudy's. Good little liquor store. Great selection of whiskeys, bourbons, all the fun stuff. Swing by. Uh, get your fun juice for the game. Right there off Highway 9.
yeah. I'm sure a few people wanted to stop there the other night on their way home potentially, but yeah,
Probably
great.
some are going to the coach's show and probably reloaded too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh man, were we supposed to do that tonight?
We could try another day.
Yeah, well, yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go into the takeaways.
Yep,
Lead the way, Brad.
yep. So to me, I want to start with the one of the biggest positives, and that's we're wondering how good this defense was. We hadn't really played a ranked team before Tennessee, so we were really kind of wanting to see, okay, what do we look like against a really good, maybe one of the best offenses in the country. If we're,
Mhm.
if we're I thought they outperformed my expectations. Um, they played really good, but they were put in some really tough spots
Oh,
time
yeah.
and time and time again and just kept responding.
Yeah.
Did they give up a couple of big plays? Sure.
Right.
Like everybody's going to give up a couple of big plays to that offense.
Yep.
They string you out and got playmakers everywhere. But yeah, they showed up over and over and over again, and I just enjoyed. We were loud. They were making plays. I always talk about it. I love the trade off. We
Mhm.
yell, they make a play, we yell, just that back and forth. And you know, my second takeaway is the offense. Their struggle really tried to take the air out of the stadium.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were loud, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
turnover. Was there two back to back turnovers, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I was sitting yeah, I was staying in the stands, and I know we're kinda fast forwarding a little bit, but when Mike Hawkins came in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, now we're gonna ruin another quarterback. Oh my god, this is." I mean, like, he comes in, he runs the sideline, he gets, pressure, and I'm like, "Okay, so the idea is we put in a faster quarterback out there to run away. Cool. Okay, great. That's our plan."
yeah.
And then I was just I mean, with those 2 turnovers, I was just like, "Can we have an offense that's a complete liability. They should just punt it deep, and then
Mhm.
put the defense back out there." Because if you notice, the defense has a great rotation. I didn't see them get gassed. they were just rotating guys. Lewis Carter and all. You running 3 down linemen. There's plenty of dudes to
Yeah.
rotate in.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just constantly shuffling guys, and they were all playing at that same high intensity level. I told people around me, just let the offense just go home. Just like have them just go home. Like they're
Yeah.
just go home. Go figure it out. Go watch more film. Go watch a Rocky movie. I don't know, something to get you like motivated. Like, that defense was awesome, phenomenal. I was like, "We
Mhm.
just need to play them the whole time. Maybe they can get interception and a pick six. Maybe they can get another turnover, and we can hope for a scoop and score." They almost got it.
Yep.
Ethan almost got it. I was like, "Oh, there's our touchdown."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No.
but I was mad, of course, so now I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but I was just like, "Just tell them to go home." Like, just I'm like
Yeah.
and now we got Mike Hawkins, which is great, seize the moment, all that stuff. Uh, but I was just like, we just he's faster, great, okay. But that's where I was at on game day. I was just
Yeah.
like, this offense is a total liability. It's a liability. Like it
Sure.
does it had it, for
Yeah.
in that Tennessee game, they did absolutely nothing. And if anything, they didn't do nothing. They literally like put their defense in bad spots. This
Time and
great
time
over and
again.
like you mentioned, over and over, it was a liability. Every
Yeah.
time they trotted him out there, they were going backwards, literally for a safety. Like give him the ball back and just put him on the sideline. Just tell them to go home. Like pack their shit and go home. Like let's just rock the defense. Let's just see what happens when you only
Yeah.
play two sides of the ball.
Yeah. And,
Anyway,
you know, well, I
I'm
mean,
done
and
with
right
that.
out, yeah, the first drive of the game, we went for it at midfield. Um,
Hmm.
Not with this defense. There is nothing wrong with playing field position with this defense we have. We went for it there at midfield. And with this defense, I don't mind us punting and pinning people inside the, you know, 20-15 yard line a lot.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to go for it when you have a defense like this.
No.
Punting the ball is okay,
I
like you
that
said. So,
was that was confusing. Everything really about the offense was confusing.
but yeah, you mentioned, my guy that I talked about as like an unsung hero here a while back, Lewis Carter was my
Yeah,
guy,
that was. Yeah, that was your
and
guy.
and he had one of those games where he really
Yeah.
showed up. I saw him a lot. I saw 20 on defense. The heat-seeking missile RSJ was all over the place.
My boy. I
Uh,
love
I
that guy.
I know you love your RSJ, and the like you said, the lineman rotation. Those guys were bringing it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love seeing Trace Ford get his first sack in a long time, calls that fumble.
Yep.
Uh, Jaden Jackson just is
Is a monster.
well beyond his years right now, which is great.
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna just keep naming guys, which kind of brings me to one of my other talking points. I mentioned the atmosphere. We talked a little bit about the defense, a little bit about the offense, but man, um, seeing Dolby laying on the field there
Oh, man.
in the third quarter was just
Oh, it
awful.
breaks my
I
heart.
know if he's not your favorite player, he's really close, and the guy just ah, I hated to see that. I
Yeah.
didn't know what had happened. Um, I thought I
Oh,
was
man.
actually I was actually thinking worse than a leg injury because I didn't see that. I wasn't on my phone
Yeah.
or listening to anything. I thought it was potential, like,
Oh, like
cardiac
spinal.
arrest
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, what's going on? Because they brought this bag out. I didn't see any medical people, doing anything. But yeah, I had no idea. So, you know, our prayers go out for him and just a full recovery and, whatever he chooses to do after that. If he decides, go NFL, he doesn't, that's up to him. Just as long as he can come back fully from that
Yep. Yeah.
um,
I
injury.
mean, I hope he comes back. He deserves a full year to put on some awesome game tape. We were expecting him to be really our best cover player. I mean, I was expecting him to have this, that third corner, your nickel corner, going to be locking down all those slot receivers. I don't really know. We don't have that on our defense right now. That cheetah spot, I'm sure that maybe that's something we need to keep our ears to the ground on with the football brainiacs and
Mm.
others that, how are they going to get that third corner? Where are they going to find that third corner? Maybe Bowen
Yep.
moves
Yeah.
there to that
I
spot.
think Eli.
So,
I
or
think Eli.
Eli. Yeah, Eli. There you
He's
go.
got some great coverage skills, man. He plays a lot
Yeah.
bigger than what he is. I
Yeah.
love
Both those
watching him.
Bowen brothers are very well coached for their age.
Very
Very well
fluid.
coached.
Yep. Yep. They're just ball players.
So yeah, hope Dovey comes back in fast recovery and comes back and tears it up. So
Yeah. No defense. That's the best defensive performance I've witnessed on Owen Field in quite some time. I can't
it's textbook.
recall.
It was
Yeah.
that 3-3-5, three high safety look, man. It was textbook. Absolutely textbook. We're gonna get into that later. But
Mhm.
could not have asked for a better performance from every single position on that defense, not group, every single person that walked out there. And they did not show this all year. This was the first time they ran it. I'm sure they had it in practice and fall and spring and all that stuff, and they ran a little bit of last year, but this is the first time live this year, 24, against a high-powered offense, and they absolutely shut it down. It was
Mhm.
awesome. And every
Mhm.
single from the edge group that gets a lot of flack from us, we've given them their flack, and like they all
Mhm.
performed awesome,
Yeah.
like perfect,
Yeah.
textbook. You could
Uh,
not. There's going to
eh,
be a case study. I said on TFB, there's going to be a case study for all those three coaches that are on every level of football,
mm.
from high school to college and even the NFL. They could literally watch that game and be like, okay, so that's how you play it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, they were very very dominant. Um, I think I think Brent like twice now, the last two bowl games. I think he's toyed with that 3-3-5 in the bowl
Yeah.
games.
Yep.
The old throwaway games that he likes to tinker with stuff. So I think we played that quite a bit last year. I think if I remember right against Arizona, we maybe just didn't have the
We
personnel.
did. We
You know,
did. We did in Arizona. We did beginning of the year. We kind of went away from it and probably ran it like 15 or 20% in the middle of the season. But for this season, we hadn't unleashed it. I mean, it was out there. They know to run it, but it was just cool to see them drop it right there, conference play. But they the way that they played it was different from last year. Some of the some of the techniques that they were doing were a little bit different. The way they played their corners, we can get into it later, but yeah,
Mhm.
I was happy. I was happy. I was giddy. I was like, "Oh my god, all three safeties are on the field at the same
Yeah,
time."
no, I was.
Yes.
No, I saw that several times too. We had a bird's eye view of it. It was yeah, poetry in motion on defense
Yeah.
Saturday night. Uh,
And I remember, I think in the summer I said I would like to see RSJ as the middle safety because he is such a great +1 run fitter. But where they actually played him a lot to the boundary, and looking back at film, I thought that way better because he's at the
you mean
boundary.
they know what they're doing more than you, Russ?
Yes. Oh, yes, they do. Very much so. They know their players.
Oh, okay.
But putting him at the boundary got him to be in the box more often. If you put him in the middle safety and they go trips, they're gonna push. You have to push. You got to cheat your middle safety over. And if you put RSJ on that boundary, you can't like get him out of it. So like he can come down and be a run fit player every single time. And I didn't think of that. I was like, okay, well, I learned something looking back at this film. I was like, maybe put your best run defender on safety at the boundary instead of in the middle safety where they can kind of manipulate you a little bit. But
Yeah, and
Bowen
that
played great. Bowman, all of them,
yeah,
they were awesome.
yeah, and that can change week to week too, depending on who we're matched up with. Obviously, Auburn may not pose the same kind of style or threat that Tennessee has, so they may move him around. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but um, fifth takeaway, we mentioned the offense, in general and their poor performance. That's the elephant in the room. Heck, that's our pod is actually named offensively offensive. So, yeah, bad performance, across the board. But Arnold he really struggled to do anything, and poor decision making led to was it 2 picks and a fumble, or the other way around?
Uh, I guess a pick and 2 fumbles. I think the backwards pass is counted as
Oh
a
yeah, thank
fumble.
you. That's the one I'm
Yeah,
thinking of. Yeah, so that was a
but I
fumble.
mean,
So,
even from the jump, and we'll look at, I mean, like the very first play, I sit in the stands. I was like, or standing in the stands. I was like, what are we like? Okay, okay, we got that out of the way. We got it out of the way. Whatever the
yeah,
hell that was.
yeah, it was a
Like
bobble,
yeah, snap,
confusion,
bobble, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
after that, it was just yeah, offensive.
So yeah, so Arnold struggled for good whole first half, and then Hawkins came in, gave us a little flash of what he's all about. Actually, let him down to just 2 scores, or just a 1 score. Was it a field goal and a touchdown?
It was two. It was 2 touchdowns.
Two
He
touchdowns. Okay,
he threw one and ran one.
that's right. Looked pretty good. Gave us a spark, and of course, after the game, going into the weekend, there's a quarterback controversy in Norman.
I don't think there is. There's not a controversy.
Not a
What?
controversy. Who?
I mean, there's people out there that want to say there's a
Yeah,
controversy.
yeah,
Clicks and tweets and
yeah.
posts and no, there's not. Michael Hawkins is your number one.
We have a
like,
change of the guard.
He literally gave him his job.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on. He gifted it to him. He's like, "There you go, buddy. I don't want to play. Here you go." And he went in there and good for him. Good for
He
Mike Hawkins.
he
He
took it and
goes in
ran with it.
there
Yeah.
and he ran with it. He was like, "Okay." And it was clear that he had been given 2 reps, meaning like number 2 reps because they were always in shotgun. They get,
Mhm.
shotgun at the goal line, blah, blah, I don't believe in shotgun at the goal line at any point of the either one. But yeah, I mean he rolled with it. I mean, we talked about him. Was it Temple? After their Temple pod, he goes in there, he plays. I was like, huh. I mean, he's got some zip on the ball. He's got
Mhm.
some wheels. He was
Mhm.
decisive.
Yep.
And I said, you remember his dad was. I remember on the off season. Remember on the pod, I was like, I saw some stuff of his dad. He's like, he's been preparing this whole moment his
Mhm.
entire life, and the NFL stuff, and more, training and stuff. And I said, I don't know. I kind of see it. Like I was seeing it versus Temple. I was like, I mean, he looked like he was not like it. No moment was big enough for him.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So,
No.
and then he goes in there versus Tennessee, opening conference play against the number 6 team in the country, against a defense of Tennessee that may not be good, but they were very physical, very physical. They were getting into
Mhm.
our players' heads. Okay, they were trying to like live rent free inside and some of the O line and Jackson Arnold. They were messing with them, and they did a great job messing with their minds mentally and being physically challenging. The Javante Barnes going to the sideline. I mean, that collision was just like SEC type collision, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just trots out there and he's like, "All right, we got to move this damn ball. Let's go."
Yeah.
And he did. So there's no controversy. Stop that. We got a quarterback.
Yeah. He's got the athleticism. He's got some zip on the ball. If he's got the decision making, look out, because that's kind of what we've been lacking this year is decision making. Whether it's RPO, whether it's if he can read zones a little better than what Arnold was doing, just making the right decisions. And you don't have to do that 100% of the time. If you're 80% right, or 70% right,
yeah.
that's a whole lot better than where we're at right now.
Yeah, my concern wasn't really. I mean, Jackson Hole had a bad game, but let's not forget the other 3 games that we've already played where our offense was play calling questionable, offensive line play questionable, blocking questionable, run game questionable, passing vertical passing element. Why is no one talking about the complete element of the vertical passing game gone? There's
Yeah.
no such thing as a vertical passing game. Not only that, we don't stretch the ball horizontally either.
Mm,
There was only one pass in the entire Tennessee game that was actually a completed, like, outside pass, like a speed out or an out route. It was Mike Hawkins to Dion Burks. That was it, I believe. I think it was Dion. That was it. There was one. If
mhm.
you can't stretch vertically and you can't stretch horizontally and everything's all these sit routes and stuff, you're just gonna run into trouble. Like you can't effectively move on these defenses like that.
No,
And your run game, you're averaging 1.5 yards per carry, 1.5 yards per carry, and you don't have a vertical element and you're not stretching them horizontal.
travesty.
Like
Yeah,
that quarterback, Arnold struggled with the zone. I'm hoping that we don't ruin another quarterback, and I hope we play calling gets better, execution, just hitting blocks, hitting reads, maybe get rid of the RPO game. I don't care, but when you don't have a vertical element, you don't have a horizontal element, and everything's contained in a little box, and you can't run the ball, you're not going to move it. You're not going to move forward. There'll be no drive sustained at all. So whether we play Arnold or Hawkins, there's going to be a lot of other stuff that we need to get fixed.
yeah. And just feel like there's been a trust issue, whether it's been quarterback trusting the line or vice versa, the line, you know, trusting Arnold to do what he's supposed to do. So if Hawkins can work on that a little bit as well, just develop a little more chemistry with the offensive line and everybody could be on the same page.
Yeah,
Again, baby steps, well, anything's going to be better than what we threw out there on Saturday. I
right.
mean, that's as low as that's about as low can get.
Yeah. I don't want to see any lower than that, man. All right, let's go into the
You want
stats.
to get? Yeah, you got some stats.
Yeah, just some quick ones. Not anything too crazy. So, just real quickly, um, run stop efficiency. OU's ranked number 1 in the SEC in stops in the run snaps. So we've had about 1,400 run snaps combined with all our players. We've had 125 tackles, 87 stops, 26 mixed tackles, only 6 penalties, and a couple forced fumbles. Just they're doing good. I mean, doing good. I mean, Danny's still up there. He's still the number 1 backer in the SEC with 19 stops, and it's not really even close. And he kind of had a down game.
He
I
did
don't mean
tackle
down. I don't
wise.
mean
Yeah,
tackle wise, yes,
right.
but he did a lot of dirty work.
Yep, yep.
Lots and lots of dirty work taking on tight ends and guards, man. I mean, they're defensive line too. But anyways, he's having a great year, man. Still.
Yeah,
Um,
it seemed like he was playing a little bit of a spy
yeah, yeah,
at certain times too. So,
yeah, yeah.
which I'm perfectly fine with when you got a guy like Nico running around back there.
Des Malone, 12 targets, 5 receptions, 34 yards for 6.8 yards a reception. I believe this is like one of the um better in the league.
in the league.
Let me see here. Let me make sure. SEC. Let's say minimum snaps. Yeah, he's right here. 7th in the league right now at 6.8 yards a reception.
Why does it
12
say
targets, 11 targets.
Is there a Devontae Smith like brother?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you who that is. So anyway,
Oh.
Dez is doing good.
Mhm.
Woody had a rough game. So his stats are a little down. Sacks. So Oklahoma has 5 O-line sacks, 32 fails. Not anything crazy there. I think like
Just these are just
we're still
SEC numbers, or is this
yeah, this is just SEC. So
okay?
we're in like the middle of the pack. I feel like let me look here. Yeah, we're in the middle of the pack snap count wise too. So the total plays by all the players. So let's look at pass rush. Where are we on pass rush? I didn't even look at this. Let's look at edge.
So all game stats are just SEC. It's not just SEC games. It's
No,
all
it's all
four. Okay. Just
yeah, all
clarifying.
games. So total wins at edge. Hey, we're in the middle of the pack, man. Check that out. 12% win rate is okay. I mean, it's not like 11% and dead last like it was last year. So, I mean, we're right there with in the middle of the pack. I mean, this is edge group, this is pass snaps only, and this is wins. And when I count wins, I count batted passes. PFF does not. So this batted passes, hits, hurries, and sacks. So as a team, we are about, a little bit like kind of like below middle right there
Mhm.
for edge group. Let's take edge group and we're sitting in the middle of the pack. I mean, that's not bad, man.
And most of that's came the last two games, if
Yeah.
I remember right.
Let's see who's Kyle Kennard has 6 sacks. Braden Swinson has 5. Chris Paul Jr., the Ole Miss linebacker, has 4, and R. Mason Thomas has 4. So the most sacks in the league. He's 4th right now.
Yeah, that
Not
guy.
bad.
No, not at all. I'm really glad he's getting his due.
Look at this. Chris Paul Jr. has a win rate of 41%. That is like incredibly efficient. So they're basically when they send him on pressures, he's getting there. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, did he transfer in
Um,
from Florida?
he transferred from that was like Arkansas, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I can't remember. So passing yards, air show, and SEC. These are deep plays, 20 plus yards. This is air yards, like deep passes. So air yards of 20 yards or more. We've completed 2 still. So we're now dead last with A&M and Missouri. And we have 5 yards per route. 5 yards per route. That is like not good. That is like not efficient. We've ran we've ran 16 routes and we've only completed 2 passes. 2 of them. 16 targets. I mean, that's not good. Medium plays, these are again air yards between 10 and 19. And we've got look at yards per route. We're second last. We're just smidgen over Vanderbilt. Just a smidge. Touchdowns. There you go. We lead with 5. That's good. First downs, kind of middle of the pack.
Hmm.
But as far as efficiency, we're trying to pass all those. We're not too successful.
Right.
0 to 9. We are right here, 4th to last at 6.7. And then the fun stat, passing yards completion against zone coverage, reception percentage, we're bottom half, yards, we're with the Vanderbilts and the South Carolinas,
Mhm.
receptions the same. Yards per reception, we're down there with Kentucky at 9 yards a reception. Air show versus man coverage. We're better at man. I think if you see that, we got 190. I feel like, yeah. I mean, we want to get them in man, but teams are starting to figure out they can
Sure.
safely run quarters and cover 2 and cover 4, and our quarterbacks are not reading it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe Hawkins can read it a little better. They have very little to look at it on his film to know that. So
Yeah. 12 first downs in man coverage and 13 against zone. No touchdowns. Wow, we're the only team in the SEC that doesn't have touchdowns versus zone coverage. Ooh, yikes. 4 games?
yeah, that just
Anywho, all right. That's good. I'm done with
yeah.
stats.
Yeah, that last stat, the last stat you brought up, just that has a ton to do with missing 4 of our 5 best receivers. It just does. They can't get spacing. I mean, you got Brennan Thompson and these other guys that are just getting pushed around by these, big secondary. Tennessee had some big guys, DBs out there just pushing around on our guys. We got young guys that haven't been through the program yet and seen Smitty and just getting pushed around. So we just
Yeah.
lost our height. We lost our physicality with some of these guys that are out.
Yep. Okay.
Get into some
Are
videos here.
are we ready for film?
Yeah, let's
So,
do it. Are
all
you?
right.
You're the film guy.
No, not really. I don't know, man. All right. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move you over there. All right. So we're going to start with offense because let's just get that out of the way. So start the first play of the game, bad snap and 4-yard loss, and now
That
you're
set the
negative.
tone for the entire game right there, Rob.
Yep. It's 2nd 15, and we all knew that this drive was dead. And um, again, just I don't know, man. Um, I'm not. I'll talk about a few plays. I'll let this go, and audience at home can comment on stuff, and guys can watch back and everything. Um, you know, there's just not a whole lot they can get away with. There's not a whole lot that's in this playbook that they can run. They struggle with split zone. They struggle with throwing against zone. Um, this Tennessee defense, like I mentioned earlier, was incredibly physical. They brought physicality to it. Here's Jackson Arnold running for his life. Let's see what happened here. I don't remember this play. Oh,
Yeah, that was the 3rd and
Fabici.
long to get them into the 4th and 2 they went for.
Fabici just gets beat.
Mm.
And now Arnold, within a few seconds, has got a big dude in front of him. Makes guy miss, makes him yards. I mean, this is the first drive. I mean, I don't know. Here some people are talking about rollouts that, how we need to get them rolled out, cut the field in half. They've done it. He just stares down his receiver, man.
Yeah.
Like we'll see that on another clip. He holds on to the ball too damn long. Like he had no touch, no anticipation. Here's a little quarterback draw, and Barnes can't block the guy. This 11 was an alpha on the field, man. He was taking it to it. Block that right, and look at all this green grass. You block that right, that's easy.
Yeah. Missed opportunities left and right.
So this is like drive number 2, I think. Here's that split zone. I don't
Oh
know what
gosh,
I don't
look at
know.
that hole. That
I know. Like what is what are
Barnes
you
had
looking at?
he had daylight. Look at that.
Like what is he reading? I I don't know. Like he's ran this offense before. Like he's run
Mm.
RPOs before in high school. He did it. I don't know what I don't know what he's being taught to read. Like look at all these guys are all on the I mean, look at this. You got numbers.
It's perfect for the run there.
And we actually have a tight end that you give that to him. He chipped him out of there, but he didn't. I don't know. Maybe I asked a question if some of those reads were predetermined. Like they have headsets now, they can just say, "Hey, RPO, give it," or maybe it's not a true RPO. Maybe it looks like an RPO to us because it's the same action and everything. But a coach can tell him to give it or not give it very
Right.
easily. Don't throw it. Or, I mean, I don't know if they've actually turned him loose because I don't understand why he wasn't. Like that doesn't make any sense. And later I'll show you it has an effect. It has an effect when he's staring down receivers and he's not later in the game. I'll show it to you when it pops up. But look at this.
Yep.
Like throw it to
Yep.
him.
Yep.
Like why are you holding on to the ball
Mhm.
so long?
Mhm.
You don't let's see. Do I have the let me back it up a little bit. So look at this. Like I don't
Yeah, he's open
he's open.
immediately.
Why are we running to the
Yeah.
sideline? There's a pocket. Sit and
I
deliver the
don't
throw.
I don't think there is a pocket. I think that guy there on the left
Oh, that guy there?
is broke. Yeah, through the line. Yeah.
But he's still taking too long to throw this ball. And then this corner has plenty of time. This corner that's sitting here has plenty of time to peel back and lay a big hit on him. If he delivers this ball right here, he's not going to take a big shot. And we've seen this in prior games. This is again zone coverage. This is zone coverage. He's gonna get someone killed. Like you gotta hit him. You gotta hit him at the right time. I don't know. I just felt like that was too.
Yeah, we saw that in the bowl game. We were hoping, that was something that would improve, just getting the ball out of your hands a lot quicker.
Okay, so this is a play that Jay
Yeah.
talked about later or earlier today. He dropped
Look at
a
Burks,
post.
man.
Yes. So
Ugh.
there's a passing lane here. So this is cover 2. You've got a corner who's sailing. So it's a zone like it's that natural zone bracket. He's got his butt to the sideline and he's sailing out. And then you've got your safety here. And you've got Burks who's running across here. And this is a zone beater. Like crossers are zone beaters. Like he needs to be able to see, okay, 1, 2, the reason why you have these stacked like this is that you see him, he's working into double coverage. My next read is the guy that's open in the middle of the field. If he hits him right there, that safety is 16 yards away.
Yeah, that's a 50-yard gain potentially. Yep.
But instead, he takes the corner he is clearly not seeing and trying to thread the needle underneath a deep zone safety.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
That's just strange. It's a bad mistake. Like
Yeah.
it's just bad. You threw
Yeah.
him right,
Yeah.
threw
Oof.
it right to him. Yeah. Anyway, ugh. We've seen him do that in prior games too.
Yeah.
Just he got lucky and didn't get picked, or he didn't get lucky and it got picked. But it was all zone coverage and uh you gotta read it better. Oh, here's your off tackle. One of very few plays that we were able to, and there's that physicality there.
Mhm.
Oh, and I
Mhm.
put this in here too. So like, uh, You see this Tennessee player after the play. This is after the play. After the play, it, it's Bauer Sharp in the face. I don't know. Tennessee was chippy, man. They came in
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they definitely had a they wanted to come in and
Yeah.
be
And
physical, man.
of course, some guy's going to be chippy with Bauer because Bauer's not going to hit him back. Bauer doesn't like contact.
Yeah, see, look. He just hit him and he didn't do anything. And I'm
Yep.
like, dude, you better come.
Yeah, I
I
know.
just feel like there's like an attitude missing from this offense. Like there's an attitude from these guys
It's
that are supposed to be
night
blocking.
night and day different between the offense and defense as far as attitude is concerned.
So here to me, this looks like duo to me because this guy is in a pass set, so he's the in line, and then you've got a double team that's working back to this backer here, and this running back of ours, Javante, is reading number 11 wherever he goes, so he's trying to avoid 11. 11's backing out in the coverage, and this play could have popped, but watch Heath Ozida with his eyes down. His eyes are down, and Sexton literally throws the defensive lineman into Javante.
Oh my goodness.
And if Hosida would get his ass around and get his hips flipped like Hickman here
Right.
did, and get his butt, you would have a seal and a seal, and Barnes would have taken off. And
Yeah.
Hickman's gonna work off and take this backer here. He gets it to him, but Sexton threw the guy into him.
We can't. Yeah.
And
It's somebody. It's one or two guys every play.
it is, and it's
It
different every single time.
honestly,
It's
I mean,
somebody.
it can be Arnold and then another guy not do something. And
Your little
yeah, that
stick.
was
Yay, we're moving the ball. We're moving the ball. I'm not gonna. Um,
oof.
what happened here?
That was supposed to be a keeper, right? That's a keeper all
He,
day long, isn't it?
he's yeah. So he's penning that A gap. He's
Look, if he would have
working.
held on to this, all he had is one guy out here to beat.
Yeah, you take that race, and he gives it, and it's what I don't understand. Where no, this is an RPO. I don't believe this is an RPO. There's no effing way that this is an RPO. This is he. What is he reading? Like he should be reading this guy.
He's reading the side
Like
of
if he's not even
Barnes'
looking
helmet.
at the line,
He's
man.
looking
He's
at the
not
side of Barnes'
looking
helmet.
at the line.
Come on,
He's
Rob.
not looking at the
He's
line.
reading Barnes' helmet.
That was a give. That was a predetermined give. That wasn't an
Ugh.
RPO. I don't. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here's a good pass. I mean, I feel like again, I'm not going to blame him getting flushed out here. I mean, this is getting flushed out of pocket. He makes a play. There's a double corners there, little sit routes. Good rollout, good play. So now it looks like they're shutting down the B gaps here. They're kind of actually giving a little taste of their own medicine, and don't move anybody. I don't know why we're not attaching, like you mentioned on that last play. Like, yeah, no, that's just a good play by Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Tennessee front four doesn't need any help.
There's a
And we
return motion, and okay, this right here is when I in the stands said we need to get him off
lost
the
your
field.
crap. Yeah.
I that's where I was like, no, there's something off. This is a 7-yard pass. I don't like what I don't. This is going to be a great play. Look, these offensive linemen got up here. You have 3 guys against 2. Assuming that our tight end here blocks. 3 against 2 in space with Burks.
Yeah.
That's a big play right there. That's a big play. And we gotta stop with these motions, man. Here we added boomerang this week, and it does nothing. Like
Yeah, window dressing's fine
shot
when
play,
yeah.
we knew all that wasn't gonna get completed. It was a shot play. Defense does its job, gets the turnover. I was so bummed Ethan didn't scoop and score. And we've seen this play. We can just zip through it.
Goodness.
Got to hold
Yeah.
on the ball.
Well, and Sharp was blocking air again.
So this is split zone. All these guys need to take a split. I accidentally highlighted Fabici, but these guys are all taking a step. You're adding a gap with split zone. You're kicking him out and you're running. Now here's my problem. I don't like to be in shotgun anywhere near the goal line.
Mhm.
That's just not my preference. I don't believe in it. I think it's stupid. You should have been in like 13 personnel and you should have like slammed it. Like this slow developing, like little quick kick out and everything. But if they had blocked this right with Hickman, then JY posted like 2 hours ago and like he confirmed everything that I had it queued up. And I highlighted Fabici on accident, because I was speeding through here trying to get this set up. But I mean,
Golly.
that's a whiff. That's just
Mhm.
that's an execution error for a safety. You can't blame Arnold for that, but okay. So this one, I left this one in here. So usually when you have a rollout, and I understand that we've got like max protect here. We got 7 guys protecting 5, even though that doesn't quite work. I still would like a flat here. If if Barnes got a little bit more on him, he's got the shallow cross coming open right there. And if he had instead of staring down Burks here, he could have anticipated throwing it here. Maybe. I mean, these these corners were reacting,
Here's
but
yeah. Looking at this
there's
play
no one.
too. Here's
Yeah,
something that bothers me is you got Latrell up there. There's no creativity here. What's wrong? Like we never see like a little shovel pass here. Shovel pass would have been perfect on this play. He's rolling to his left, which is very uncomfortable for a right-handed quarterback. If you roll it again, Barnes is in great position here. If he were to do a little shovel right there,
yeah,
look at all that.
yeah.
Look at that hole.
You
But
could
there's
have
no
Yep. You could have had
creativity.
these. Yeah, you could have had these linemen peel back,
Yep.
let these two go, and just shuffle it, and then he would have had, plan play. You could have had. Yeah, I mean, I see it too, man. And here's where I highlighted this area because there's no flat player. The Barnes could easily slip that. You can have
Yeah.
a coaching point that's like, hey, man, if you miss your guy, you can come out here and try to, and something could happen. Now, in this instance, Tennessee sent too much pressure, but usually when you have a rollout, you have a flat,
Hmm.
an intermediate, and a deep pass all on the same. That's how Texas runs their stuff with Sark. Every almost every route combination has 3. And I understand that we were running like the max protect because our, trying to get but I always like to have 3 like to see 3 levels of receivers. Now I did this because I'm up here and I see Arnold get laid out, a concussion type hit, and the defensive player basically just putting his weight on him.
Hmm.
And I'm highlighting all these players that
That
like just
aren't.
watched it happen
Yep.
and like they didn't do anything. And
No.
I don't mean like they have to rip their helmet off and just go start a fight. But why look, like,
I know.
why like,
There. No.
why?
No
Do
aggression
you
on
think
offense. None.
do you think Creed and Orlando
Mm-mm.
Brown, Ben
No. Cody.
Powers,
Cody Ford is
Cody Ford,
demolishing someone.
like, s like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, they're
Yeah.
just standing here, and I'm like, "Okay," you would earmark in the back of your head, 11 is going to eat grass. This guy went and sacked my quarterback 1. Yes, he ran himself into pressure. Yes, he got himself sacked. But that's my quarterback. That's my guy. and watched him get a concussion type hit where his head like double bounced on the ground and could have been knocked out. And nobody wants to say anything. And not to mention, I forgot the reason why we were in that end zone with the safety and running that split zone. The play before, Heath Ozida jumped and got a false start, right? The entire box of Tennessee fans were all pointing their fingers at him and the offensive line laughing at them. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And did they did any of these guys say, "You know what? Screw that. I'm just gonna take someone and just drive him into the stands. I don't care. I'm gonna inflict my physicality on him, period." And they didn't. I just feel like it's kind of passive. I don't know. I don't know. Just
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to
I
get
don't know what the
bullied.
word is.
And that drop there, there's another. Yeah.
You got more pressure. Oh, so this is a play. This is another one that JY mentioned, and he
That's
said it was an
lateral, isn't it?
this is the lateral play.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused of what this is because usually you don't have a lateral that's like like a screen that's way out here on a motion. But if this really is an RPO, I you could have gave it to him there if that's an
Yeah. No.
RPO. But you see Tarquin, Tarquin just kind of walks outside. He just takes a walk for 15 yards. Um, Fabici gets his guy, and he kind of just it just looks like he kind of lets him go upfield. So does he kind of lets him. I and you see how Bauer turns around like maybe he was expecting. I don't know.
That's
I
weird that Tarquin's all the way upfield like
Tarkin.
that. That play,
It
that
doesn't make any
play,
sense.
that play was
I don't know.
doomed from the get go.
I don't know what this is. I've never seen an RPO where you're throwing it all the way across to a screen. And like, let's go back a second. Like, he's not expecting that ball. Like, he's not expecting that ball.
I
There's
think
no look at him. He's
I know.
not expecting that. He slows down. He's just
Yeah.
standing there.
If he is, he's not expecting it there. He's expecting it 4 yards upfield.
I don't know what this is,
He
man.
was rushing his throw. Just he
Someone in
saw
the
the pressure and
comments.
just rushed it.
I'm gonna slow play it one more time. Someone in the comments, watch this play. Can you diagnose what the hell this is? I feel like it's a tight end or halfback screen or something. I don't know.
I think we should have said, number 70 was eligible on that play because he was wide open. Right?
Yeah.
Number 70's eligible
A bad
because
snap
he was
for Hawk.
running a passing route. He sure
Yeah,
was.
he was.
He was running a
Yeah.
seam. Oh goodness.
Okay. So Hawk, pressure probably should have. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. We're not going to spend. Let's go to his drive. I don't know where his winning
He's
his touchdown.
he's the closest, speed wise, he's the closest thing to Kyler Murray that we've had.
Oh yeah, yeah. Got a screen pass, but this drive was dead. That was a 3rd and 13. We just killed it. Here's a new drive. So that's 2 drives now, Hawk for nothing. Here's another play. So this is I'm not sure what this is cuz this is like a this is a split zone concept. This looks like it's a RPO with they're going to split zone, play action. It's supposed to kind of look like play action and then running back give, and then the quarterback and the tight end roll out. Um, I
So they got 9 guys in the box. Do we actually
it, yes. So
run the ball there with 9 guys in the box? Okay, that's cool.
exactly. So I'm not. They have helmet comms, and
Yeah.
and this is the thing. We're gonna go one more play. Just wait. I'm like, okay, so that was weird. Okay, how about we do it again? But this time, let's put him in the backfield. Literally, it's the same damn play, and they ran it outnumbered again.
Yeah. Gosh.
This look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. You got 6 defenders in the box. He again. I highlighted this defender here because I was this is like again it's like a play action of a split zone, and like Seth Luttrell's ran this play. Oh God! Like it was one of the first plays of the first drive of the season. He ran it again at This is a common play, but I'm not sure. Like, and you've got these guys that are crashing down on everything, and he's got the quarterback. I don't know. This is back to back, same thing, failure, failed,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
We're making it easy on the defense though, Rob. I mean, they can crash down on every play. They don't respect our vertical game. Just like you said at the top of our podcast. They
Yep.
don't respect our downfield passing. So guess what? They
Yeah.
can crash every play and there's nothing to lose.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Man,
Nothing to lose. Yeah, just watching this, it's accountability from the staff, the offensive line all the way down. There's just play calling, execution, decision making. It's just oof. That was a nice 16-yard loss there.
So this is where Hosida completely whiffed. This is his big mistake. Like everyone, Hickman's already had a mistake that cost us 2 points. We've had Sexton, who later in the game cost us 2 points. I mean, he just ends up blocking air. He thinks he's gonna get pat in 55.
Mm,
But there was again
jailbreak.
Tarquin,
Yeah.
because of this pressure, it pushes Tarquin's path out. I mean, it was Hosida and Hosida with his hands in his helmet, like, oh no, what did I do? Um, let's see. Oh, this is Petaway getting away,
I like what I saw from him when he gets the ball in his hands.
just running a over the ball curl, over the ball
We've
curl.
been asking for him to get a lot of reps, so hopefully that
He
time has come.
he looked good with the ball in his
He
hands, man.
does. He does.
Just more running for his life. I'm really worried of what happens if we have 3.5 games of Mike Hawkins and zone coverage and 5 and 6 man pressures, and what that's going to do to the kid. So this is the best play of the game, in my opinion. So this is a throw that we try to get Arnold. He's running a speed out, and watch the anticipation. He lets it rip. That's a hard throw to make. I mean, you're from hash
Hmm.
to this spot here. That is a really hard throw that you have to have legit arm strength to be able to throw this pass. And great ball. That was if you can at least try to get some horizontal game, then maybe you can start running some switch releases out of it and then get and attack the middle of the field, downfield, some vertical stuff. But oh man, covered sack. There's nobody on this side of the field, and he does a smart play and throw it away.
Yeah, well, almost need to, work the offense, inside out, work on the short intermediary stuff before we start taking shots downfield just to get Hawkins comfortable. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of deep ball he's got anyway.
So here's max pressure or max protect. You've got 7 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 8. My bad. You have 8 guys. Oh no, Barnes goes out. So 7 guys against 4. And tight end can't block their guys. So he has to take off. I mean, it's three receivers versus like 7 coverage players. and 4 linemen versus 7 blockers.
We need to have some more creativity down here on this goal line stuff.
I'm hoping that it's just because he doesn't have the full playbook. Like I'm just assuming with his not limited reps in practice as the number 2, but I'm hoping that probably expands pretty quickly.
Hmm.
Seth Luttrell's probably was calling what he knew Mike could run and like just off the fly, but I expect it to. Oh man, so I mean this is like overload here, and like you got to get this ball out. Quite honestly, if I'm seeing this coverage, knowing the play that I have, I'm calling a timeout and talking to my quarterback, but that's just me. I would be like, timeout. All right, so this is going to be cover 0. You're going to need to get this ball out quick. Teach a lesson. 4th and 14. So yeah,
Yeah, I think he just missed Petaway here. Had him open.
Yep.
Just misses him here.
Yep. So let's skip over to the defense. I'm tired of this. Maybe we can watch this one. Just coverage. Didn't check to the pressure side. He's got wheels, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got wheels. Come on, Jake. Golly, Jake did not have a good game. Bauer Sharp didn't have a good game.
No,
their blocking was so bad.
Yeah, I don't remember a tight end making a significant play.
I think that was probably the most significant right there. A little 5-yard completion. Bauer had a couple too. And then hero ball. I mean, that's what we're gonna. I mean, the offense is gonna have to be hero ball. It sucks, but that's just there's nothing else out there. Now, I guess I didn't put in the. So let's go to the defense. This is the fun part. So 3 high safeties. Got 3 safeties. I got Bowen, RSJ, and what I like about this against the Fear and Shoot, this is a kind of a modern Okie kind of front defense, a defense that combats all of these vertical passing routes and everything, but yet is a run stopping nightmare for offenses. So here, let's just what we got here is we've got a 5-man box, giving the illusion to the offense that basically run all day. I mean, you see this as an offense, like you should be saying, okay, we'll just run the ball. I mean, you got seven on the offense. You got 5. My gosh, my 5 is terrible. 5 5 in the box for the defense, but in reality, when you've got an overhang and an overhang, both these overhangs from depth are reading the mesh point of the quarterback and the running back. They're both reading that mesh, and they're allowed to see that mesh, to read that mesh, because we've got a deep third safety, a deep third corner, and then this middle safety in this high hole is also reading the mesh point and will come in and be the +1 alley defender over here. Now, having that middle safety kind of gives you flexibility because you can you can send pressure and he can replace. You can play some form of Tampa. I mean, there's a lot you can do, and as an offense, you see the same even contour and you see the same illusion to run the ball. So what this does is it takes play calling away from the OC. Takes OC out of the game. It's all about this quarterback. This quarterback has to read and react. And that's why Tennessee had to run the ball a lot, because they didn't want to have Nico, their young quarterback, try to read all these coverages. I mean, I went through this defensive tape. I can't name all the coverages. There was just so much movement all over the place. I was like, holy crap, I don't even know where to begin. But in essence, what they did is they had these corners play off in the deep third. They say, you're going to play over the top on these outside receivers. What we're going to do is we're going to have these box players, these overhangs, read the mesh point, and as soon as they read, they're going to cut and they're undercut. They're going to cut one or cut two. So this cut two, this guy's the two receiver, cut. So you have, they'll read and then they'll come in and they'll sit almost kind of like a poach almost. So they'll end up sit here, and so they're going to read and then they're going to cut back. If these corners can drive on the post, this middle safety you should see rotation back into the middle of the field. But this illusion of this 5-man box and how this run fits with these 5 guys, you're going to have these 4-eye, and a shade or a 0. There's some points that we had a 5, a 0, and a 5. But the goal, the name of the game, is to shut down the B gap, and funnel and basically really collapse this entire line. And these backers will scrape. You'll have your +1 middle safety come over into the alley, and then you'll have your force defenders, like your corner, come from out here. And then if he gives, you also see RSJ. I mean, it is a ultimate swarm from depth is what I mean, I can describe it. So he's collapsing the B gap. Kip comes in, fits right off the hip, collapses the C gap, takes on the block. RSJ's already here. Boom, finish the play. So that illusion, it looks like a light box. It looks like this 5-man dinky little, we can't stop the run look. And as an OC and even as a quarterback, it can kind of confuse you, because you're like, how are they canceling gaps? And they're canceling gaps because these edges did a great job of making sure you're not getting overtaken, and they collapse this B gap and spill and kill everything to the outside. So this play looks like they're running dart. Jaden Jackson. This is Jaden Jackson's play all the way. He's going to avoid a double team completely. So well, in fact, this center, who's an all-conference center, is going to fall on his face. I'm sorry, the guard. But I mean, this is all-conference center. I mean, Jaden Jackson had great, but he's going to avoid the double team, and then he's going to work the heel line. Boom, look at that. You've got the B gap is canceled by our edge. You've got our linebacker canceling the C gap. And then now there's your +1 run defender from the middle safety. And then Jaden Jackson coming from the nose tackle position.
He finished Samson off there, yeah.
I mean, this is textbook. I mean, you cannot draw it up any better than that. So just watch it. Boom, there's your +1. Cancel B, C, D, all canceled, done. All from a 3 down front. I love the 3 down front. You can't run it against all those offenses out there. Mm-hmm. Wide zone teams. Reason why, the 49ers and all these other teams are getting bigger. They're getting more bigger tight ends, and they're trying to get into wide zones, because that wide zone widens that B gap out. Versus the power plays that Tennessee and the veer and shoot want to run. They're trying to power through, get numbers, and if you got that edge group that is going to cancel gaps like that, you can't run it. So this play here, so what happens here on this first big pass play, and in one of their bigger adjustments that they make in the game, just tiny little adjustment, but it ends up helping them in the long run. So you've got, again, they're playing deep half, deep third, or really it's just you've got the vertical. That's why he's in a bail technique here. This is Kip. He's the box player for this play. He is reading the mesh, and as soon as he reads that it's pass, right there, he's working laterally. Well, that's kind of a coaching point if this was a slant, but this is not a slant. This is more of a glance route, RPO glance. What they do later in the game is they tell them to work back, not work lateral. And that way it takes away from the RPO window here. This is your RPO window. And I mean, Woody doesn't do a great job of driving on this when as soon as he cuts in, he needs to be driving in a flat line. He kind of bananas out a little bit, but they do help that corner out with adjusting that that player instead of going laterally to work back or to kind of flow out in space a little bit. But he, just a coaching point, a little adjustment. Hey, don't work lateral. We want you to work back instead because they were trying to really go elongate those post routes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the physicality was there, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know how many rushing yards they had, but it didn't feel like a lot. They had to earn it.
I thought Jaden Jackson had a fantastic game. A fantastic game. Like, yeah, I've never seen a true freshman nose tackle push guys. I mean, he's driving guys back. So here's another play. So another look at what they were trying to do scheme wise. They were bailing these corners out, and they had multiple mesh readers, and as soon as they would once they read pass, they're supposed to cut into these routes. Bowman got sucked in just a little bit too much, and just they're off to the races. They come back later and they just make a few adjustments to make sure that they had their depth and spacing right. And after that, that's why you never saw a deep pass again.
Yeah, I think and Heupel even admitted to it. That he changed his game plan. Drastically. We went more conservative, especially knowing our offense wasn't getting much. He didn't want to give us opportunities to, turn the ball over. So he got very conservative.
I believe it. Just more spill and kill stuff. Let's skip on through. Oh, RSJ.
Yeah.
He comes from 7 yards deep. He's way out here.
Yeah, he came from Dallas.
He was 7 yards back. He gets full speed. This tackle has no chance. Doesn't even put hands on him. And then watch his right hand. He punches that ball out. I mean, this was just full speed. Nope. Boom. Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan.
Scoop and score, man.
Yeah.
See,
even if he doesn't score it, he could kick it out there for another guy to grab or something,
Yeah, so here's another look at that defense. 5-man box. You got even contour here. You take the OC out of the game. Is this cover 3? Is this cover 1? Is this going to be some form of Tampa? You have no idea. I mean, when your pre-snap looks static in the same over and over again, you can't read it. You don't know what they're going to do. I mean, this middle safety right here that Bowen plays is the key cog because he always is going to be the one that makes it right in the run because he's your +1, and in coverage you can mix and match all kinds of different variations. You can send a blitz and he can replace. You can do a super rotation if you got a stud out here at 1 and you want to bracket that one. You can always cheat him and you can have a 2 over 1 and float in zone and just take one guy out. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with a middle safety like this, and having 3 guys to run this scheme just makes it great. Look at this. You want to see a corner be a force player. Woody reading the down block. Woody's reading this tackle. He sees down block. He goes,
Hmm.
Boom, force player. I mean, this run defense is very, very aggressive. You do not see this very often. Seeing a corner come from from 12 yards away, reading an emo on the end of the line of scrimmage, and then you have over here, and that's a switching response. If this ends up being play action, he ends up
Mm-hmm.
being the cut player, and he ends up being the deep third.
Yep.
And so they're flipping and flopping different responsibilities, and then they're moving guys around. So here, this is a play I was telling you about. So here, instead of like Kip Lewis was working laterally, this is Trace Ford. You see how further in, a little bit further inside and further back he is, and as he's reading the mesh, he's staying put. And as he gets past, what does he do? He turns back and looks and sees where's that receiver at, and he works himself right back into the window. Covered sack. So there's that adjustment I was mentioning, and so then and here's Bowman who just like comes off the edge.
Yeah, I love watching that pocket
Or
collapse.
sorry, Woody. Coverage sack. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was this is great. I mean, they were making adjustments, and they gave every opportunity to win this game. And here's Woody with the punch. So he comes in and punches that ball out. Great. Those first two plays that we watched, how he was bananaing out a little bit. Watch him drive on this as soon as that guy, how his route is flat or how his path is flat, whereas before he kind of bananaed out. He goes flat into it. Drive, drive, drive. Drive that line, punch the hands. Drive that line, punch the hands. Yeah, Woody ends up making a mistake later, and we'll probably see that. Here, let me zip some of this. There's a lot
All
of
right.
stuff.
I wish Stutzman could have got there on that last play.
So here's one of my last plays is a Stutzman taking on like 3 blockers. He didn't get hit on the stat sheet, but the dude was doing some dirty, dirty work. See, spill and kill, man. Spill it
Mm-hmm.
to the outside. Look at this. So this is what you want to see. You've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just won the numbers game. You had a little, you had a not stunt, nose over tackle. You have Caden Willard collapsing the B gap, 5-on-3, spill it out. Kobe makes a play, and there's your alley defender. Dude, it was textbook.
Yeah.
Like, this is like textbook stuff. I mean, it was just beautifully executed. Oh, and then this. Oh, dear Lord. When I saw this,
Trace Ford.
live. Yeah, Trace Ford. It's 3rd and 8, second and quarter. It's 12-3. Game is still on reach. And he does a jump and dip over this poor soul. Whoop. It's like Magic Man. I mean, that, and then strips it. Get out of here, man. Like, good Lord. So anyways, so they go heavy, heavy. So they get 2 up backs, and they're going to run a double insert here. And you can see their eyes. They're both looking at Stutzman and I believe 24. What 24? What's
Amasigo.
Amasigo? God, I cannot say his name. I don't know why. Amasigo. Kick out, and boom. I mean, new concept. They play it better later in the game. Kit makes one. This is like only missed tackle in the game
Mm-hmm.
right here. He fits right off the hip, and just
Yeah.
his eyes go down. He doesn't see it. Running back makes a better play. They end up getting a score. But all in all, I mean, there was. Look at this, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's a race. You see this? It's a race. Who's getting the tackle? I hope we see some more of this.
Yeah, I think we will. I haven't, looked ahead to Auburn, but I see us running some of that, 3-3-5 or whatever against Texas as well.
So here's Stutzman doing the dirty work. He has to take this tight end. He has to. He has to take this tight end. He has to get this running back to bounce it out. And again, spill and kill, you know, they want to hit this B gap like that, right? They want to get, you know, offenses don't want to run, straight into the A gap. That's not spread teams. That's not what we do in modern football anymore. But they do want to hit that B gap as hard as they can. If we can collapse it down, cancel gaps, and you can change that angle to this, that creates more yards to run and it gives more time for the defense to come from depth to make the play. Widen those angles out. Maybe we can skip a little bit. More, man. But yeah, I mean, we can slowly wrap this up. Oh, so this is the play that Woody bid on,
Yeah,
and this was
Brew made a nice catch there.
so I kind of skipped over some of the smaller stuff because they were just hitting some outside stuff, some stick routes, some out routes, and this is where he makes a mistake again. He is the deep player. Like he needs to understand, like he does not need to bite on anything. That's not his responsibility. He gives him a little stutter step like he's going to do a post or come out or whatever. You got your help right there. That help is kicking in. Like he should, that was just a mistake. Like he didn't have to do that. That wasn't his responsibility. You had those box players that are cutting anything underneath.
I
Just
thought the
awesome
defense
run
did.
defense.
Yeah, the defense did everything I wanted them to do, other than scoring 14 points of their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a show, man. Like I really enjoyed um watching this defense. I'm like I said, I'm a fan of the three high system. I getting three safeties because I knew that we could do it. I mean, the personnel is just awesome. Now, like I said, you can't run this versus like wide zone teams and some other schemes like that. But for the veer and shoot, it's like a match made in heaven. I mean, look at this. I mean, just negative play after negative
Yep,
play.
yep, yep. No, is hard as it was to watch the offense. It was just very rewarding watching that defense and watching them fly around. That's what we've been
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
for. Yeah.
yeah.
You could tell the difference in how they played first three games compared to that game. Just total night and day aggression.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Hopefully we can um, get something found on offense. Maybe a quarterback sparks a fire into everybody. Maybe there's some new motivation. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I agree. Maybe, it's kind of like you get a new quarterback, so you just kind of reset a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody just resets. Okay. New quarterback. Everybody, let's do our part to help the new quarterback. So everybody all of a sudden, just shifts on their role. If
Yeah.
everybody just works on their role, and the one thing that I don't know if they can change overnight, you talked about it a little while ago, is we need killers on offense too. That can't just be one side of the ball, and there's just not enough aggression on that side of the ball. That flip, or that switch has to flip
Yeah.
soon.
Well, somebody losing their job, like,
Yeah,
Jackson Arnold should, make someone feel like, oh crap, if that can happen to him, then it could happen to me too.
yeah.
So I better, level up my game.
Hmm.
But yeah, we've got Auburn. We got our first road game coming up, and we'll probably have a new quarterback starting under center, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Weather may play a little bit of a role. There's a hurricane supposed to be moving into the Florida Panhandle, into
Oh wow.
Alabama Friday, Saturday, whenever. So I hate when I don't like when weather plays a role in the game. So hopefully it's not a wet field and neutralizes some of Hawkins maneuverability and some of that speed that we want to see him show off
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Saturday. But yeah, no, tough loss. You're going to stub your toe every now and then. Hopefully there's better days ahead on offense. I mean, that was hopefully that was the low of lows on offense. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think you can play much worse on offense. So
No. 1.5 yards
yeah,
per carry
yeah,
from the
exactly.
running backs and O-line. I'm not looking at quarterbacks. 1.5 running
Right.
backs and O-line.
Yeah.
And no 2 passes over 20 yards, air yards. 20 air yards. 2 passes. That's it.
Ah,
Uh,
awful.
can
Awful.
those get worse than that?
Nope. Nope.
Like,
Yeah. All
ugh.
right. Yeah. Let's wrap this up. We'll have
Yeah.
a little Auburn look ahead later in the week. So appreciate everybody tuning in. A champion standard. One team, one side of the ball lived up to it this past week. The other one not so much. So
Nope.
yeah. Please continue to follow, and we will see y'all next time. Boomer Sooner.
Thank you, guys.